Welcome to the party. I'm Sam Ekstrom of Locked On Sports Minnesota. Today, 7 predictions for the Vikings offseason. Odds are we get 0 right.
I'm Luke Braun of Locked On Vikings, and after a 3-day weekend, I'm processing about as fast as Caleb Williams in the pocket.
Hey, this is Arif Hasan with the Wide Left Substack. You'll notice that Sam's scruff, unshaven, looks pretty good. Luke's looks like a disaster.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. It's time for the Minnesota Football Party. It's your guys hanging out talking next level Vikings football. So join in with Arif Hasan, Locked On Vikings Luke Braun, Superior Sports Talk's Luke Inman, and Vikings insider Sam Ekstrom, plus the biggest names in Minnesota football for the Minnesota Football Party. And it starts now.
A rare and exciting Tuesday edition of the Minnesota Football Party. Welcome in. We're glad you're with us. It's on Locked On Sports Minnesota, which is under the Locked On Podcast Network umbrella. Thanks for making us your first watch or listen today. For your second one, as always, check out Locked On Vikings with Luke Braun for the best daily Vikings content, and find our audio on the Locked On Vikings podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. Off-season prediction mode starts today. I've got 7 categories that we will predict for the Vikings offseason. Luke Inman responsibly submitted his predictions as well, even though he's not on today's show. So we've got that in the mix, and we'll review an 0-3 playoffs for the NFC North. Lions. Wow. Did not expect that on Saturday. We dive into the divisional round, of course. Again, Luke Braun, Arif Hasan, I'm Sam Ekstrom. Glad you're with us. I got to tell you who brings us today's show. It's Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code Locked On NFL for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time. I think we get into the predictions first. Predictions are fun. Predictions are how we fill our off season. I think there's a lot to predict. There's a lot of juicy prognostications we could make about the Minnesota Vikings. I've come up with 7 categories. And I think we go around. You can limit your justification. You don't need to dive into your reasoning. This can be gut feel. I'll permit that. But the first category is maybe the biggest category. It's Sam Darnold's next contract. Who will it be with? And why don't we start with Luke Braun? We'll alternate who goes first. And Luke Braun, you tell us where Sam Darnold ends up.
Who picks third in the draft? Them.
I actually don't know the answer.
I think it's the Giants.
It's Giants.
Return to New York.
It is the Giants. Return to New York.
Yep. Playing at MetLife again.
Escape from anti-New York. Got it. I think the funniest and most disastrous answer would be the Raiders. So I'll go with that. They pick 6th. So certainly an opportunity there.
The Tennessee Titans is what I would go with. And
first overall, Tennessee Titans. Eschewing Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders for Sam Darnold. I think that would be smart of them. Those quarterbacks ain't it.
That would be, yes, I agree, it would be intelligent. I don't think they'll do it.
Get Travis Hunter and fill 2 needs in one.
Sam Darnold, get Travis Hunter. Make all those Titans fans happy.
Man, that sounds like a good offseason to me.
Inman says the Browns. So we got 4 different teams.
So second overall, I would like that, which makes it not happen in my head.
Yeah, they're still so stuck. They're going to have to click the restructure button on Deshaun Watson again. And it's already sounds like they're committed to moving forward with him. It's they just planned to do this and then have a year where they eat like 90 mil in dead cap.
Well,
that was the plan with this contract.
There's so little you could do with that contract because he's like fully guaranteed from the onset. So like, there's nothing you can do about that.
He's going to see every dollar. Like you have to do it.
Yeah, you have to figure out when those dollars will hurt you. But yeah, you got to do it.
Second category, Vikings starters who re-sign with the team in free agency. So this would be the list. And it's the most combined snaps of any free agency class, apparently. Cam Robinson, Sam Darnold, Byron Murphy, Stephon Gilmore, Aaron Jones, Shaq Griffin, Jerry Tillery, Dalton Reisner, Jonathan Bullard, Cam Bynum. Now, we need to have a quick clarifying conversation
We're
about
counting Tillery as a starter?
I think so.
Just making sure. Okay.
I think we are.
Yeah.
You can easily say no.
He kind of lost the job, but let's put him in just to make it interesting.
Yeah. Now, Spot Track has Harrison Smith still under contract. Over the Cap does not, and I don't think we've heard definitively either way whether he has a contract. I would lean over the cap.
Count him as because he's an open.
Lean over the
anyway.
cap. Yeah. Over the Cap has not been caught stealing information from Spot Rack. So let's go with Over the Cap.
You go Spot Rack. I think
is it Spot Track?
Spot.
Yeah,
I would go
Spot
Track. Some people
I would go Spot Track.
The real sickos.
I've seen Spot Track, which
I see. Okay, it's just different ways. On Over the Cap, there's a March 14th deadline to terminate the contract.
Oh, when does
it
the league
voids?
Start?
But
like
it's
March 17th.
It voids, but it's an option or something like that.
Oh, okay. So is it a club option or a player option?
It doesn't say.
Probably doesn't matter because it's not like they would activate it without Harrison Smith's, full consent.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing anyway. Because Harrison Smith is in open question, let's count that as a potential pending free agent in this count. So
yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Not going into too much detail or anything like that. But I said no to the top three. So I said no to Cam Robinson, Sam Darnold, Harrison Smith. I also said no to Stephon Gilmore and Dalton Reisner. I actually didn't know if you counted any. I wasn't paying attention until you said Jerry Tillery. So I have no idea who you counted as a starter. But I said yes to Byron Murphy, yes to Aaron Jones, yes to Shaq Griffin. I didn't know if you counted Bullard, but I counted him as a yes. Bynum as a yes.
Bullard. Yeah.
And I didn't know if you counted Ryan Wright, but I counted him as a yes. And then Jerry Tillery, I was yes, no on, but he's played better here than he has anywhere else, so I'm going to go yes.
You've got more yeses than nos. I think Ryan Wright is an RFA. That I guess still counts.
Yeah.
Original
round tender seems like
I would consider Ryan Wright. I'm going to go with Murphy, yes. Jones, yes. Bullard, yes. Bynum, yes. Harrison Smith, I think, retires.
Yeah.
So that would omit Gilmore. That would omit Griffin, Cam Robinson, Sam Darnold, Reisner. Couple fewer yeses than Arif had. Luke Braun.
I'll go with Murphy, yes. Aaron Jones, yes. Reisner, yes. Bullard, emphatic, yes. I don't know. I don't think he's going to cost anything. They'll just bring him
Reisner or Bullard?
Reisner.
Yeah.
Well, both, but Bullard is an emphatic yes to me.
We were not surprised by the Bullard yes. We were surprised by the Reisner yes. So that's why I was explaining that one.
Bullard is like $2 million easy dollars to spend. Plug a hole.
Ryan Wright, yes. I'm gonna go Cam Bynum, no. I think he goes and chases money.
Well, yeah, because it's like what, 14, 15 million that he's potentially chasing. I get it.
It could be more.
That would be, chase your money, dude. That would be incredible.
Right. Who am I forgetting? I'm saying no to Stephon Gilmore, no to Sam Darnold, Harrison Smith retires, no to Cam Robinson.
What was your Shaq Griffin take?
That's the hardest one. Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
I liked him. I thought he played well. I thought that he more than fulfilled the value dollar, whatever, on his contract. I liked it.
Yeah, I think if Shaq Griffin is one of your starting corners again, you're still going to be like a zone defense behind the blitzes and deal with all the problems that come with that.
Yeah,
he's not going to man cover for you.
You got to make a choice, so whatever.
Yeah.
To feel comfortable at corner, I think you got to bring back Murphy. Blackman has to be healthy and good. McGlothern has to take a step, and then you sign two more. Like it's going to be hard. You have to sign two, probably. So is Shaq Griffin one of the two with the chance to be usurped by a younger one? I think that makes sense. So that was easily the toughest for me as well.
Yeah, like if you bring back Byron Murphy, Shaq Griffin, and then hope you get something out of Mekhi Blackmon and add a rookie, and that's your room. Okay, that's 3 off-season additions, by the way, if you count re-signings as additions. The only one who's currently you don't have to do anything about to get that room is Mekhi Blackmon.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Griffin played himself into much more money either.
No, he's probably a 1-year deal guy for the rest of his career. He's 30.
Yeah.
Probably an inflation raise.
Yeah.
Bump him up to $7 million or something. All right, next category. The first round pick of the draft will be with number 24. I would go for Luke Inman on the returning free agents. He's got Murphy, Jones, Bullard, Tillery. Just keeping that D line. Ryan Wright. He omits.
He doesn't have Griffin.
He omits Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
We are all out on Sammy Darnold.
I mean,
there's so much more money for him on the market. I just do not see why he would even come to the table. Thank you. Tell me what your offer is, Vikings. Okay, thank you. We'll talk on March 20th if I'm not signed somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Happy for Darnold. I know that the season ended really poorly, and that's going to impact whatever. But I would be shocked if he signed for less than $35 million a year. I know PFF and Over the Cap put out $41 million for him, which a little higher than I expected, but also I expected at least 35, so clearly not substantially higher than I expected. I mean, he's not a $50 million a year guy. Maybe if he played well in those 2 games, he would be. Whatever. He had an outstanding season. He's about to get paid. Good for him.
Wonder what Trey Waynes is up to these days. He is
probably fishing.
He's not fly fishing. Yeah,
Trey Waynes is much more an outdoor sports guy than he is a football. Football was definitely
he has a whole business.
Yeah, football was just a job. It gave him the capital to start a business.
Yeah,
happy for him.
Now he has a sporting good, an outdoors goods business in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Would Moreau work as depth? I don't.
Technically, he would be.
He can compete for a roster spot.
Yeah.
So can a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of Fabian Moreaus out there, I would say.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Bring him back though. Why not? Come to camp. See what happens.
Knows the system. Yeah. Sure.
First round pick in the draft with number 24. I'm going to go with cornerback Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame. Good press guy.
I'm going to go with Alabama guard Tyler Booker.
This is interesting. Man, I really like guard. I was going to go with Tyler Booker too. Let's stay at home and get the Minnesota guy. Move him to guard from tackle. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Ariante Ursary.
There you go. There's a lot of vowels in that name.
They make O-linemen like crazy at the Golden Ghosts, huh?
Yeah. This guy's 330 pounds, by the way, which makes him 70 pounds lighter than Falele.
How did John Michael Schmitz do this year? Has he had a good career so far?
Is he a Giants guy, right?
He was a disastrous rookie year, right? But did he get better?
He was. Yeah, but I think he got better. Let's take a look.
Interesting.
Luke Inman, assume PFF is correct on this one.
Yeah, Inman just said OL on first round.
Thanks, man.
We'll have to narrow that one in.
Wait, our draft guy didn't have a name?
OL. That's not even guard or center or tackle, just OL.
Give him who's the Ohio State guy everybody wants? Jackson. Give him that.
Yeah, I can't remember the last name. This is the time of year when I cram. I cram to all of the college football that I did not watch this year to try to figure out who's good and who's bad. And then I come up with takes that are highly, highly uneducated. How many picks?
The PFF grade on John Michael Schmitz is below average and below Garrett Bradbury, actually. So PFF could easily be wrong, but the odds are not great.
Below the Bradbury threshold. That's
Below the Mendoza line. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
Bad dad joke. We will get to UDFAs. Hang tight. How many draft picks will the Vikings end up with? They have a projected 4.
Right, because they got the Kirk Cousins comp.
Yeah.
Projected,
Inman says 5.
It's like how many times do they select in the draft? Like when all is said and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say 6.
I too will say 6. No, 5. I'm with Inman.
Dang, I also said 6. I think they will double up on at least one of those 5th round picks, and then maybe move the 3rd back as well.
I do think it seems like the odds of sticking and picking at 24 are at least reasonable, and then he'll want to go get like more of a class, so he'll trade down off the compensatory 3rd they're supposed to get from Kirk Cousins.
Burrito Bill just asked, "How's the day 3 draft prep going?"
It's going, man. I watched a couple of Georgia guards that will probably be day 3 guys.
Yeah, I almost want to like alter my prediction to like 8 so that Luke has more shit to do. Oops, sorry.
Ooh. Moving on. I don't have a dump button here. It's just out there now.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Live production, everybody. We apologize.
I normally speak really cleanly. I just don't like Luke.
It's fair.
Yeah. The opposite of a sailor. That's a rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean as a
yeah. Choir boy. Biggest Vikings free agent contract outside the organization will go to
Trey Smith.
Sam, go ahead. I need to look at who the corners are.
I'm going to go with Asante Samuel Jr. He is a perfect quasi target. 25.
Boy, is he ever. 2nd
contract. Pretty good for a couple of years. Injury prone last year, missed like 13 games. I mean, this is a absolute quasi crosshairs signee.
Chat, multiple people in chat are saying DJ Reed, which if they acquired DJ Reed, I would be over the moon. That guy rules. And you could ask him to do basically anything too. So
yeah, DJ Reed would be awesome. I was either going to say him or Trevarius Ward. So I'll go with Trevarius Ward to separate myself from chat.
Always a good move.
Yeah. Now our bases are covered. Oh, Bad Dad Joke says Ollie Gordon, another day 3 running back. I do not think that guy's an NFL player. Sorry.
Oh, that's how day 3 works, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, that's
just gonna get some names.
I'm seeing that guy's name in a headline somewhere around late August.
I mean, your prep is clearly going well. If you just by seeing the name recognized a day 3 pick, I mean that's a good start.
Yeah, I recognize a guy I probably wouldn't spend a draft pick on. So,
all right, we're gonna do a lot of this offseason. Let's do on air. What's his name? Ollie Gordon.
Ollie Gordon.
Yeah. What?
Oklahoma State running back. He was pretty interesting in 2023. Had like he was kind of bursty, and then he like bulked up and got big and slow, but his footwork has always been terrible. He's like slow, raw, and you have to change his body, but like other than that, he's great. It's like get a guy out of the grocery store if you need to do that much work.
So this is like what is it, Beat the Truck? Is that what they called it with Mike Mayock in the truck? We're doing that with Luke. I like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When on day 3 of the draft, it used to be Mayock, now it might be Daniel Jeremiah. They would like people would tweet in the names of like potential day 3 or UDFA prospects to see if the truck had a highlight reel on them and whether or not the analyst had like a take on them.
That's awesome.
It rules. I love it. It's like the best part of day 3, honestly, is like when they're like, hey, this guy, and it's like, oh yeah, that's like a long snapper from Oregon State. And then the truck will have like a couple of long snaps from the guy. And you're like, oh God, good work, dude.
Wow. It's funny. I've watched probably 6 prospects, but Ollie Gordon is one of them.
You want that?
Like, you got to check out the Oklahoma State running back. No, you don't. Okay. You can forget about that guy.
225. Dang. I don't know.
Well, he's big. He must be good.
The listing on his weight is
Wait, 225 light? Is he heavier than that?
I would not be surprised if the college were perhaps underselling his weight.
Oh no. If he's not like a Derrick Henry or Brandon Jacobs type, that is a clear oh no.
It's an oh no. And it's like remarkably different from what it was last year. Like, something happened.
I mean, what am I missing here? Because this guy legitimately stunk this season. Like, if you to be a good college running back that translates, don't you have to have like 8 yards per carry in college? And then
eight's a little aggressive. But
you have a shot.
I think the argument is, we just got to get him back in shape, and then he'll be like his 2023 self, which is
how many?
Just take a different guy.
How many times have the Vikings changed the shape of a draft prospect and had that like workout? Like everyone's like really obsessed with the Le'Veon Bell story, right? Where the Steelers made him lose weight, and he was like outstanding after that. But it's like, how many like Hercules Mata'afas and Toby Gerhardts and was it Blake Lynch, right? Or Jordan
James Lynch.
James Lynch.
Yeah.
Blake
I mean,
Lynch
like
was
James
the
Lynch
sneaky good linebacker for a couple.
Yeah, the special teamer. Yeah. Who played like 4 different positions in college. Yeah. But like, how many of those do you need before you're like, this is not like, you should like take shots every so often, but like, this is not like a viable strategy in and of itself. Like the Vikings have done this so many times where they've screwed up a player's career by being like, yeah, you just got to add like 30 pounds. Like, what's the big deal?
Turn him into a fullback. CJ Ham.
I genuinely put in my Ollie Gordon notes. I think this guy might have to move to fullback.
No, that's what Brady Bill says. So
yeah,
you are back aligned with Chad.
Oh no.
Luke Inman would like Milton Williams, defensive tackle.
Oh, I don't know that his contract's going to be that big, so I don't know if you would qualify for biggest free agent contract from outside
free agent
the org,
splash.
but...
Would you guys prefer?
That sounds like they'll do a lot of re-signing and not a lot of splashing.
I feel like we agree they need something in the interior. Would you rather address it in free agency or the draft?
I don't want to be too aggressive about the interior because it seems very clear to me that the interior's job right now is primarily to stop the run, and then they could rush the passer if that's like what they feel like. It very much feels like, you know, they will design pressure coming from the edge, coming from stunts, coming from blitzes, and they will deprioritize those guys. If you can rush the passer, outstanding, fantastic. But I'm going to need you to stop the run. And I don't know that they're bad at that, so I don't know that it's as big a need as it feels like it is. Personally, I love interior pass rush. I would love some defensive tackles to be able to get up and go, but it doesn't feel like that's something that they'll prioritize.
Fair enough. What is the date by which Kevin O'Connell signs a contract extension?
Right after the Super Bowl. I don't know. Was the Super Bowl the 10th?
I'll conservatively say Valentine's Day.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll say a day before that, the 13th.
So Luke goes under on Valentine's Day.
Under on Valentine's Day.
Inman says March 12th before free agency.
Oh. Wow.
Feels like they might even want to go before combine. I'm gonna say
probably.
I'm taking the opinion that it does get drawn out. That there was more.
They're going to do the little announcement at the combine thing that they do like every couple of years?
I think it's going to take longer. I think May
going to drag
into August. We'll have a training camp.
April 1st. We're going to get the tweet on April 1st. And everyone's going to be like, nah.
Hey, you got us. What a good prank, re-signing the coach you love. Excellent work, Vikings.
Terms not disclosed. And finally, a bonus prediction. Anything goes. Anything's on the table. I think it's my turn. I think that Theo Jackson will be a clear-cut starter during off-season practices.
Wow.
Okay. But like not in September.
No, they just promote. They Blake Brandle it. They just promote him and go with it.
There's going to be a void at safety, and I think that Theo Jackson is picked to fill it and fulfills it.
I think they draft a center, and all of us are going to be mad about it. I mean, not us, but I mean like Vikings fans. It doesn't have to be in the first round, but first 3 rounds, and it's like very clear that this guy is going to be the successor to Bradbury or whatever. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, another undersized center, kill me," kind of stuff.
Does anybody have an oversized center? Is there anybody? Oh, that's a big center.
Ethan Posick.
Heat up.
Kwesi will make one of his biggest moves of the offseason will be a trade for a starter.
Ooh, I like that one.
And we'll be like, how did he do that with no draft picks?
What does he have
That's
left?
what he does.
Yeah, right. It'd be like a 2026 second round pick or something like that. We'll go.
Luke Inman said something similar. He said Kwesi stays on brand, trades a draft pick for a starter. That's literally what he said. Now 2026, which they've already started dipping into, they've given up their 4th or 5th, depending on the Robinson conditionality. They've given up their 6th.
He probably hit that, right?
They've added a bunch of 7ths. It's very tough to, because some of this
you can't really package 7s together. That's like a really difficult trade to sell to another team. That's kind of funny. 2026,
they're set for 7ths. They've got
do you think that they will trade their try to get into the draft this year with a pairs of 7s and stuff like that? I just want Luke Braun to do more work. So this is wish casting.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
so
I think it's moot because I have to do something on every pick anyways, no matter who it is.
Right, but you had mentioned that if it's a Vikings pick, you've got
that I'll have to step off and then do a short and possibly.
Yeah, and then
I don't think I'll have to do live shows. I'll probably just have to do a short, which Sam mentioned I can just do while still live and
while on
watch
air
me on my phone.
Yeah. On cam.
It's weird. But
again,
okay.
Don't explain. Just start.
Yeah.
So would this year's 3rd and next year's 3rd get you a starter? Maybe next year's 2nd? Yeah,
possible.
I could see it.
Sure.
Like a name that's bigger than that, but he's a little older, maybe expensive. Someone's trying to shed some cap. Vikings have the cap.
6th most cap space, something like that.
Have I read to you guys? I've done it on other shows. I don't think this show. The bounty that the Commanders got last year with similar cap space to the Vikings. Let me read it off to you just for the impact. Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner, Marcus Mariota, Zach Ertz, Frankie Louvu, Dante Fowler, Tyler Biadasz, Jeremy Chin, Dorrance Armstrong, Nick Allegretti, Noah Benigene, Jamison Crowder, Michael Dieter, Olamide Zaccheaus.
Only 4 of those guys suck. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 clip, but we just threw mud at the wall.
Yeah.
And the Bears had more cap space? How'd that go?
How'd that go? Well, I mean, it's a cap space league, Luke. At the end of the year, the goal is to have the most cap space. So.
Right. It's so cool that the Bears are already winning the offseason. It's a dynasty. I think we're ready to say.
Is this going to be their 3rd consecutive one offseason?
Yeah. Surely this time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, James Kunau's got you, Sam. It's pronounced Igbenogany.
Yeah, Igbenogany.
I'm still going with what I thought it was during his draft year. I'm pretty sure I never fixed it.
The Dolphins made a whole thing about how it's actually pronounced.
Good for them. Let's pause, and when we return, a review of the divisional round and what exactly happened to the Detroit Lions. That's next. We're brought to you by our favorite folks over at Game Time, which is the best way to get into a sporting event, concert, theatrical production, comedy show in your area. Game Time makes it easy. With Game Time picks, it filters out the fluff. You get incredible deals on great seats, and you can see the view from the seats with the panoramic view. You see the all-in price when you toggle on that feature. Make sure there's no hidden fees that you have to get surprised by at checkout. Best customer service in the ticketing industry. I swear to you, Game Time Picks is the only place I look now at tickets. I was all set to buy NFC Championship game tickets, and the Vikings didn't even get close to that game. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, Use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Full lineup this week, Minnesota Football Party. We're a day early, a day late. We're a day late, doing it on Tuesday. We'll have this special, not a dollar short, because Arif got a FanDuel parlay win over the weekend. Luke Inman had a FanDuel teaser win. Thank you, FanDuel. Thank you, parlays. Not the ones that we bet on the show. The ones that were on the show were all losses, I'm pretty sure. I think we're all over in the playoffs.
I feel way better about that.
Yeah. Someone's got to. So
I'd much rather Arif lose off it or win off air.
Yeah,
Thursday.
I get it.
Thursday will be fascinating because nobody has any money, and this is our last week to win the contest. So again, no parameters. Strategy is going to be
game time.
Thank you. Let's start here. The NFC North lays a major egg. Goes 0-3. No game particularly close. Frauds. I mean,
yeah.
The NFC North is all frauds. They're just like the SEC.
Man, is that arrow to my heart?
Okay, so the Lions lose in the NFC Championship game last year because they went for it on fourth down too often. Then they lose in the divisional round this year because their opponents went for it on fourth down too much.
Throwing a pick on the Jameson Williams razzle dazzle felt like just the most Icarus moment.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, like come on. The Commanders defense is like not that's like the reason that they were 10-7 and not 14-3.
Yeah,
just run you were running for like 20 yards a play. Oh my, stop.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs was like on pace for like 300 at one point. Like just let the dude cook. It's crazy because so my friend John Ledger tweeted out absolutely no way am I having Jameson Williams make a crucial decision for me in a divisional winner go home game. And Jameson Williams' dad retweeted it. It very clearly very clearly do not put Jameson Williams in a throw the ball situation. Yeah. Jared Goff committed 4 turnovers, 3 of them picks, one of them a fumble. And for some reason, the 4 turnover game for the Lions did not result in a win. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, it was a heavy turnover game. A lot of the picks kind of didn't make sense. The commentary on the picks definitely didn't make sense, but the picks themselves also were hey, where were you throwing it? I get that route was open, but where was the ball going, guy? It's just like bad stuff. It wasn't that he was under pressure. It was he was just not. Yeah. He was just not. It was kind of like Sam Darnold. It was just hey man, in a clean pocket, that ball is sailing for no reason.
Yeah,
run the ball.
A little excited maybe. Yeah. Here's what's interesting. Do you think that if so Ben Johnson gets the Bears job, Aaron Glenn on a crash course with the New York Jets right now,
right? Saints maybe, but probably Jets.
And but at least somebody because he's there.
Albert Breer reported if all goes well, he is a Jets coach at the end of the day.
They're not letting him out the door.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So by the end of the day, by the time audio listeners hear this, it could be official. So losing that game took both coordinators away from the Lions because if they wouldn't be available right now, and both the Bears and the Jets would be sitting there going, okay, let's talk to Mike McCarthy a little more, and maybe this is what happened to Eric Bieniemy forever too. All the decisions would be made by the time he was done coaching. There'd be 2 openings left, and they were the worst.
It's happening
franchises.
to Kellen Moore right now. The Dallas Cowboys really want Kellen Moore, and now they're just interviewing people just to fill the time. Right? Brian Schottenheimer. Okay, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I don't care.
Sure. So the Commanders, not only did they end a special Lions season, but they might have slammed the window with the coordinators and saved us Brian Flores. Thank you, Washington. I love you, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, a real mensch. Love that for us. Yeah, but so Ben Johnson to the Bears might mean nothing for the Bears and might like demolish the Lions, which sounds outstanding.
Yeah. I think it'll do less to the Lions than like Vikings fans want to make it out to do. Like, it's still Dan Campbell's team, and it's still a remarkably talented team. Like, most things work when your O-line kicks a lot of ass.
I think people forgot that after Anthony Lynn stopped being an offensive coordinator, they just demoted him halfway through that first season, and Dan Campbell started calling plays, and it started working, and then they brought in Ben Johnson, right? Or promoted. I don't remember which, but like
Ben Johnson was actually there before Dan Campbell was, if I recall. He worked there for the Matt Patricia Lions. But he was like tight ends coach or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Dan Campbell looked at the tight ends coaching and went, hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were together in Miami. Dan Campbell was the tight ends coach in Miami. Ben Johnson was the assistant QB's coach. But when Joe Philbin got fired and Dan Campbell took that interim job, Ben Johnson became the tight ends coach, and Dan Campbell had to like fill him in on all the tight end drills and stuff. And that's like
the rules.
Yeah, that's how they got to know each other.
Yeah, so promoted Ben Johnson after he started like calling plays and stuff like that, and it was working out all right. So they'll have something, but I think the coordination and collaboration that Ben Johnson had with Jared Goff about kind of what was working with him was really excellent, and so I think it will hurt the offense. But Luke, you're right. Like, having an offensive line that just demolishes people is going to give you a lot of margin for error.
The
losing
Lions
Kevin Zeitler might have a harder impact.
Yeah.
And Zeitler is
hopefully he's a free agent.
He's a free agent, but they could bring him back.
Those are like 30 plus, right?
Carlton Davis too, but they're getting almost everybody back. Like,
they're getting healthy
with a ton of cap space.
They're gonna get better just from the process of recovery from injury.
Yeah.
Like, now losing Carlton Davis, gaining Aiden Hutchinson. Like, I think they'll make that bet any day. Also, they've a lot of cap space. It's not fair, really.
67 million.
They'll still there will still be a lot. Like, the Lions aren't just gone. I don't know if they're going to win 15 games again. That's hard to do twice, but that's still, they'll still be favored to win the NFC North even without the coordinators. But still, like, it's keep Brian Flores in our house, so that works.
Right. A couple, it diminishes them a little bit on both sides of the ball, just enough, and then keeps Brian Flores around. So net good.
I think there was a lot of man coverage on the Lions, and then Jaden Daniels ran a lot. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if the James Kunow chat in here is accurate, but it warms my heart if it is. So let's treat it like it is. The last time a Lions coordinator was poached for a head coach job was Don Shula. Let that guy get away. Jesus. Wow. It would be like letting Mike Tomlin get away. That's crazy.
Who would do that?
Who would do that?
1 year defensive coordinator for the Vikings.
Can't believe they made that decision.
The first year of the whole regime, and he gets poached away to become like the greatest head coach in the league. Longest tenured forever. 1 year with the Williams wall and a good run defense, and the Steelers were like, "That's our guy."
we found him. At least when Pete Carroll was poached, he wasn't a good head coach right away. Oh, Sam, you have to know what's saying.
Apparently, yesterday the Patriots also interviewed Grant Udinski for an OC job, according to Albert Breer. I think that's Albert Breer, unless I'm getting a darn shafted.
And why you've been mauling over potentially losing Grant Udinski?
What? Oh, yeah. I mean, because he's the actual podcast material. Reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good podcast.
Yeah.
Brian Flores is back. The Jaguars did not invite him for an in-person interview, so he is coming back unless there is a late interview with one of these teams. Highly doubt that's going to happen. Brian Flores is back. So that gives the Vikings that edge. Lions lose their coordinators. What would be the postmortem power rankings with what we know about the Vikings quarterback situation going forward? Does it line up the way it finished? Lions 1, Vikings 2, Packers 3, Bears 4. Or does Ben Johnson going to the Bears? I mean, does that tilt the scales at all for you?
Not for Caleb. Caleb needs to show the scheme that Ben Johnson ran in Detroit was very precision and timing based, not unlike a McVay scheme. And Jared Goff was very good at that. He could get the ball out when he was supposed to, get it out on time, do the blitz beaters, read pre-snap, all the stuff that he kind of couldn't do in LA. He can do now. He's older. He's a veteran. He's got the experience. He can do that. Caleb Williams, nope. So I don't know what offense Ben Johnson brings there.
Run that offense. Ben Johnson's been with a bunch of different offenses. His strength is in crafting an offense in concert with the quarterback that he's working with. That doesn't mean it's going to be
the thing that got him hired isn't going to be run in Chicago. That feels
yeah.
No,
I'm curious to see what he comes up with.
The Lions are still going to run more trick plays without Ben Johnson than the Bears do with.
That's a Dan Campbell thing,
right? Yeah. But I do think the Lions get worse and the Bears get better. But I don't think that changes where they are rankings wise. I just think that the gap between these teams is a little smaller. And also, I'm going to continue my Jordan Love hate, so I have to make the Packers third. So
I can't do it. I can't put Jordan Love below question mark. We don't know who it even is in Minnesota, or if they're good at all.
I live for putting Jordan Love below question mark.
Fair enough.
Question mark minus Jordan Love. Yeah.
Packers cap caught up to them a little bit this year. They're middle of the pack. They don't have a bounty like the Lions or Vikings do. Love, highly compensated. Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander is becoming an albatross.
Some people are saying he's a potential cap casualty, and if he is, that the Vikings should pick him up because Vikings fans love picking up former Packers.
Well, the Vikings do love the most washed corner alive. They do need to replace Stephon.
They are huge fans of insanely washed corner number 2. Right? Yeah.
Patrick Peterson.
Oh, he's got a big roster bonus due on March 16th.
Got to make a decision.
Roster bonus due on March 16th.
Got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Other highlights of the divisional round, shout them out. Teddy Bridgewater just being on the field for a touchdown. Pretty cool.
I would the language I would use here, Sam, is led a touchdown drive. That's
engineered a march down the gridiron.
That's what that's what the official Teddy Bridgewater fan club. That's the language that people have agreed upon. So. And hey, drives led by Teddy Bridgewater, 100% scoring rate, 100% touchdown rate. Drives led by Jared Goff in the playoffs, really high turnover rate, really low touchdown rate. They should have just stuck with Teddy, man. I don't know what they were thinking.
Drive success off the charts.
Yeah,
yards per play,
like over 20. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt as much because the game wasn't close for the Vikings, but if they could have gone and beaten the Rams, they would have been in a snow game with Philadelphia, and we would have gotten, that's precipitation, right? That's Wet Sam.
Home NFC championship, would have been at stake.
Man.
Yeah. That does hurt.
Versus the soft California team going into the snow. Although, the Rams played great.
I thought this was a great divisional round. I thought the Chiefs-Texans game was awesome. Predictable. Still plenty to talk about, but predictable outcome. I thought the other 3 were really entertaining. Even though the Lions didn't come down to the wire, but
the story's different. It's just you're just sitting there stunned the whole time.
Stunned. The over/under was 84 at one point. The live over/under.
The live over/under was at 84.
It's a college game.
Well, yeah. So someone had tweeted out that it was like an old Big 12 game or something like that.
Yeah. And then Mark Andrews. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was mulling retirement before that play, but then it's like you can't go out on that.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that happens.
Yeah,
that was Aaron Rodgers not retiring after tearing his Achilles. Like, I can't go out on that. Come on.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, because you can't be like, I'm back, baby, and expect people to be happy about that news, right?
Yeah. That's
Lamar did throw a couple of turnovers outside of the Mark Andrews mistakes and stuff like that, but it really feels like Mark Andrews has defined the Lamar narrative on this one.
Legacy drive
rescued us from weird MVP discourse.
Yes.
Lamar, spectacular drive, spectacular touchdown throw, executes the 2-point conversion as he needed to, and then that. I felt for him.
Great game, though. Goodness.
Yes. Outstanding game. Eagles and Rams, pretty good game. The snow, I couldn't be more opposed.
Snow.
You
don't like snow?
No, did I say that? No, I'm saying I couldn't be more opposed to those that ask these games to be played in domes.
I don't understand. Like,
how do you not like
that? It feels like the only thing that they like about football is efficient play, which is just
they're fantasy players. They want fantasy stats. That's all it is.
What so, and I understand this because he's a quarterback's coach, but like Quincy Avery was like, this does not test skill, only adaptability. And it's like, okay, that is a skill.
That's a skill. Yeah. That's like core to football is overcoming something. It's like the whole thing is about overcoming pain and exhaustion and the elements. Like that's like core to the foundation of the sport. Watch basketball. My God.
Right. Yeah. And there are people who are like, well, it forces like, it means that some teams are better advantaged. And it's like, yeah, that's always the case. If you're playing,
it's called home field.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you're playing in a dome on turf, your speed rushers will be better than your power rushers. Like that's how it works, right? Someone's going to be advantaged by the environment. And this environment is just one where you don't get to throw the ball as much. Like, be good at football, be adaptable, have multiple ways to win, and you'll be able to win your games and you get home field advantage, right? And then you get to like dictate the pace of play and stuff like that. I love having a variety of conditions that people have to overcome. And then also on top of all of this, snow football is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. On top of all of the things I said, it's outstanding visuals. So you got it, man.
I was almost mad at NBC for superimposing the yard lines. I just wanted it to be. I wanted it to be blind. I didn't even want to know.
Just
take away the first down line too. I don't want any of it. Just give me the raw visuals.
And the football was good. It was like it wasn't. They were just slipping and sliding around, and nothing they could do anything. Like you had deep passing. That you had like a good game-winning drive attempt at the end.
You had beautifully orchestrated run plays. You had fantastic deep balls. You had all of this stuff working out, and it wasn't like the big plays were a product of like people slipping. Like, it's not like a corner slipped and then that got
no. Like, you this incredible Puka Nacua catch on the sideline with the beautiful NFL film shot, slow motion snow above it with him like high pointing the ball. Like, we live for that. You're gonna see that in promos for years,
right? And you want a dome, man? Play Madden.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, my hot dog's getting cold. Grow up.
We review how the parlays went after this on the Minnesota football party. Didn't go well. We are presented today by Prize Picks. It is the best way to play daily fantasy sports. Final 2 weeks of real football action. Make sure you take advantage at Prize Picks. Put together a winning entry. Just simply pick more or less on player stats. You have a shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. You can put the entry together in like a minute's time. I like the flex play. I don't like the pressure to be perfect. And the flex play removes that pressure because I can go 3 out of 4 and still profit. Over 10 million members, billions in winnings. People love Prize Picks. I love Prize Picks. You love Prize Picks. Check out this offer for Locked On NFL listeners. Download the app today. Use code Locked On NFL. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game, code Locked On NFL, play 5, get 50. All right, I realized that Luke Inman hosted last Thursday. You guys presented your parlays to him. Mm-hmm. How did they go?
I'm going to say Luke Inman lied to you, and actually I won.
I don't remember at all.
I do not believe you. Oh, this is great.
What are you talking about?
I put together a money line with I think it was Buffalo, Kansas City, Detroit, Philly. I think I went 3 out of 4.
Yeah, all favorites.
More or less. Yep. So I went 3, I lose, I went 3 to 4. We're all over. We're all over trying to do these playoff parlays. So Thursday,
the money line all favorites was so funny.
I didn't hate the play. Sometimes it goes that way. You get one seed, 2 seed, 1 seed, 2 seed.
Yeah, but it felt like a coward's
bold.
move, and the fact that it didn't work out was, I think, outstanding.
I thought I actually got plus money on Buffalo. I mean, I can't remember how it. I thought they were
minus
underdogs.
1.5.
They were, they were home underdogs, Buffalo.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, never mind.
Yeah,
still funny.
They took issue with. They had some stuff to say about that after the game.
Oh, good, great. I love it when players do that. Sorry, bulletin board material is like the most boring storyline in the world to me.
Yeah, Josh Allen was like asked about being a home underdog. And he was like,
okay. Well, yeah, sure. All right, fair enough. Talk your talk, Josh, in a weird accent, I might add.
that was the interview that was like weirdly country.
Yeah.
The Jalen Hurts interview after the game. What was that? Did you see that?
I did not see that. What was that?
Jalen Hurts was not in this world. Like Jalen Hurts was off somewhere else. His body.
Wait, do you mean off somewhere else, like Aaron Rodgers when he found out he had an accent because he was clearly on like painkillers, or do you mean like
the painkiller? Because didn't Hurts go into the concussion protocol at a certain point? And get cleared?
So I am getting it did feel like there were some pain meds in play here.
Okay,
because he was not making any sense. He was happy, he was overjoyed. Chalk it up to getting us over a big playoff win.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is my joy at winning and not the Toradol. Excellent.
I love the snow. The holiday, the magic of the holidays. Who do you guys have in the conference championships? We'll talk more on Thursday, but early thoughts.
Chiefs and Washington. Washington's fun, so I'm going to pick them.
I'm gonna go Philly and the Bills.
Okay,
Bills finally get off their curse. They finally managed to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, move on to the Super Bowl.
That would be great. It feels like there's like this overwhelming empire feeling coming from the Chiefs. So
there is. It's reaching the tipping point where it gets so overwhelming that the bad guy must be toppled. I'm feeling the narrative.
Right. Washington winning would be outstanding fun. Having a rookie in the Super Bowl would be incredible.
Oh my God, Washington would be so
fun.
The Eagles, if it's Bills and Commanders, it would be a redo of the Metrodome Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And that was a pretty terrible Super Bowl, correct?
Don't worry about that part, Sam.
Yeah. Everything but the first one for the Bills was kind of a blowout.
Yeah.
Thursday, we will have more Vikings talkers. Luke Inman rejoins. Ron Johnson rejoins. We will have our parlays coming down to the wire. Who will win? Who will win a parlay? The loser of the parlay contest has to front the Super Bowl bet for the group, and that'll be on Thursday's Minnesota Football Party. We covered a lot of ground today. Off-season predictions were a blast. If you joined us late, go back and check that out. Locked On Vikings audio feed wherever you get your podcasts. For Luke Braun, Arif Hasan, I'm Sam Ekstrom saying so long. You're on Locked On Sports Minnesota.